15 weird and bizarre facts in history you won't believe. History is filled with strange and bizarre facts that often leave us fascinated and intrigued. Exploring these strange moments of the past not only adds color to our understanding of history, but also reminds us that truth can be stranger than fiction. These are weird and bizarre facts that will sure blow your mind. If you are new to this channel, please take some seconds to subscribe and also make sure you turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. 15. Dancing Plague of 1518. In Strasbourg, France, a bizarre event occurred in the summer of 1518. A woman named Frau Troffea started dancing in the streets, and within a month, more than 400 people joined her. The dancing continued day and night, and some participants even died from exhaustion or heart attacks. The cause of this mass hysteria remains a mystery. 14. The Great Emu War. The Great Emu War took place in Australia in 1932. Faced with an overpopulation of emus damaging crops, the Australian government deployed soldiers armed with machine guns to control the emu population. However, the emus proved elusive and resilient, making it difficult for the soldiers to effectively manage the situation. The campaign ended in failure, with the emus largely prevailing. The event has since become a humorous and peculiar episode in Australian history. 13. The Tanganyika Laughter Epidemic. In 1962, a laughter epidemic broke out at a girls' school in Tanzania. It started with 3 girls and quickly spread to over 1,000 students, causing the school to temporarily close. The laughter fits lasted for several months and were often accompanied by symptoms like fainting, crying, and respiratory problems. 12. The London Beer Flood. The London Beer Flood occurred on October 17, 1814, in the parish of St. Giles, London. A large vat containing over 135,000 gallons of beer ruptured at the Meaux and Company brewery. The released beer flooded the surrounding streets, damaging buildings and causing chaos. The force of the beer resulted in several deaths and injuries. The incident highlighted the dangers of industrial accidents and led to changes in brewery regulations. 11. The Dancing Mania of the Middle Ages. Dancing mania, also referred to as the dance epidemic, was a social phenomenon that primarily occurred in Europe between the 14th and 17th centuries. It involved large groups of people, sometimes numbering in the hundreds or even thousands, who would gather in public spaces and dance uncontrollably. The dancing would continue for extended periods, often lasting days or weeks, with participants exhibiting trance-like states, exhaustion, and sometimes even physical injury or death. 10. The Great Molasses Flood. The Great Molasses Flood, also known as the Boston Molasses Disaster, occurred on January 15, 1919 in Boston, Massachusetts. A large storage tank containing around 2.3 million gallons of molasses burst, causing a massive wave of sticky molasses to flood the streets. The fast-moving wave, estimated to be about 35 miles per hour, destroyed buildings and resulted in 21 deaths and numerous injuries. The incident highlighted the need for stricter construction and safety regulations in industrial settings. 9. The Rat King. The Rat King is a phenomenon where multiple rats become entangled by their tails, forming a single, interconnected entity. This occurrence is extremely rare and has been documented in various parts of the world throughout history. The tangled mass of tails can range from a few to more than 30 rats. The cause of this phenomenon is still not fully understood, with theories suggesting it could be due to entrapment, disease, or natural factors. The Rat King continues to be a subject of fascination and curiosity among researchers and the public alike. 8. The Pope once declared war on cats. In the 13th century, Pope Gregory VIII declared war on cats, believing they were associated with devil worship. Cats were condemned and exterminated, leading to a significant increase in the rat population. This, in turn, contributed to the spread of the Black Death. Eventually, the Pope's anti-cat campaign was abandoned, but the consequences of the war on cats were significant and far-reaching. 7. Harriet Tubman used to carry chickens as a precaution. Harriet Tubman, the celebrated abolitionist and Underground Railroad conductor, is said to have carried a chicken with her as a precautionary measure. The chicken's clucking would help mask any sound she and the escaped slaves made, potentially avoiding detection by slave catchers or other threats on their journey to freedom. 6. A Roman emperor once declared war on the sea. The Roman Emperor Caligula famously declared war on the sea by ordering his soldiers to attack and collect seashells as spoils of war. This bizarre act was seen as a display of his megalomania and eccentricity, highlighting his unpredictable and tyrannical rule during his short reign. 5. More than one English king have died in the toilet. Several English kings have met their untimely demise while on the toilet. King Edmund I, 946 to 946, was reportedly stabbed to death while relieving himself. King Edward II, 1307 to 1327, was said to have been murdered by having a red-hot poker inserted into his rectum. King George II, 1727 to 1760, suffered a fatal heart attack while sitting on the toilet. These incidents add a macabre twist to royal history. 4. France had a completely different calendar after the Revolution. After the French Revolution, the government sought to break away from the influence of the Catholic Church and establish a more secular society. In 1793, they introduced the French Republican calendar, also known as the Revolutionary Calendar. It aimed to replace the Gregorian calendar and erase religious connotations. The new calendar had 12 months, each with 3 10-day weeks and additional days to align with the solar year. However, it was eventually abandoned in 1806. 3. Pineapples were the fanciest thing in Georgian Britain. During Georgian Britain, pineapples became a symbol of wealth and social status due to their rarity and exotic nature. Pineapples were not native to Britain and had to be imported from distant tropical regions, making them incredibly expensive. Wealthy individuals would display whole pineapples as extravagant centerpieces at their banquets or commission expensive pineapple-shaped ornaments for their homes and gardens. The pineapple's association with luxury and exclusivity made it a highly sought-after status symbol, reflecting the opulence and aspirations of the Georgian upper class. 2. North Korea once kidnapped a movie star. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, North Korea engaged in a series of kidnappings, including that of South Korean movie star Choi Eun-hee and her ex-husband, film director Shin Sang-ok. These abductions were orchestrated by Kim Jong-il, the son of North Korea's then-leader Kim Il-sung, who was an avid film enthusiast. Kim Jong-il sought to develop the country's film industry by forcibly bringing in talented individuals from South Korea. Choi and Shin were held captive and forced to make movies for the North Korean regime before eventually escaping. 1. All British tanks are equipped to make tea. While it is a popular notion, it is not accurate to state that all British tanks are equipped to make tea. However, there is a historical association between the British and their love for tea. During World War II, British tank crews often carried portable stoves to brew tea for comfort and morale. These stoves were commonly referred to as tea boilers. The practice of making tea in tanks became a cultural symbol, highlighting the importance of tea in British society and the soldiers' desire for a taste of home on the battlefield. History is a treasure trove of weird and bizarre facts that both entertain and intrigue us. From dancing plagues to emu wars, these peculiar events remind us of the complexity and unpredictability of the human experience. They often reflect the eccentricities of individuals, the influence of superstitions, or the consequences of societal beliefs. If you found this video interesting, please like, share, and comment for more educative videos like this.